Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. I wanted to take this moment to explain to everyone kind of what the idea of this channel is and what we are looking forward to coming up here. We are a channel that focuses on supporting local businesses and local artists. Right now with the pandemic, what we're experiencing in Colorado is that there are updated protocols for safety and also to lower the spread of the virus. What we're experiencing is that we'll have to move to actual remote interviews. So you may see us do a Zoom interview with the entrepreneurs and artists that are not comfortable being in person with us to record their interview. So I wanted to let you guys know that you'll likely see some of that coming up here really soon, but be sure to continue to support our local artists, our local businesses, if at all possible, because they're definitely going to see the impact of this on the second round. I know that the times that bars, restaurants have to close earlier, also their capacity has to be way less for the number of people they can help at any one time or throughout the day. So make sure you tune in, review some of our older episodes if you can. Make sure you watch, subscribe, comment to support. And we do want to thank all of our supporters thus far. We appreciate your support in watching all of our videos when they come out on Saturdays and Sundays. Also, I did start a Pinterest account. So if you are more savvy or on that platform more, we're gonna put the recipes and things that we would normally post here, maybe on the Sunday check-in playlist, to Pinterest. So you can search Joanna Michele to find me and my mom on there. I can't say thank you enough to everybody. So I just wanna say happy holidays to everybody. Stay tuned because we're gonna have more of what's good and projects that we're doing to help the community. Subscribe if you haven't done it already. You can hit the bell for notifications. And thank you so much. Take care and be safe, everybody. Welcome to What's Good with Joanna Michele, special guest. This is my friend Ramiro. And he's going to tell you more about his artistry. He actually is a musician, but I believe he does some other stuff as well. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Ramiro.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Ramiro Rodriguez. I go by Rskwared, or DJ Rskwared, or Rskwared, the guy that's cutting your lawn. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, I started doing music seriously in late 2008. I started off as a DJ. I got my first few gigs here in downtown Denver with late night entertainment. I remember my first place that I played at was at the Loft. I don't know if you...
Oh, the Loft.
The Loft, yeah.
Do you remember the Loft?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the Loft, yeah.
We used to actually kick it there. Yeah, so I do remember.
Yeah, the Loft was actually one of my real first serious...
As a DJ.
As a DJ, starting off, yeah. After that, I started getting gigs with other artists, other rappers, and I started DJing for them. Mm-hmm. And after a while, it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger with bigger artists. It ended up being bigger concerts, mm-hmm. arenas, amphitheaters. Mm-hmm. They gave me the opportunity to go on tours with different artists as well, which was really dope, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Kind of bummed that can't happen right now, but hopefully we'll get back to it.
Yeah,
so when
definitely.
you were on tour with other artists, is that where you started picking up the photography and stuff?
Actually, after all that was done, I started focusing on my own things as far as with art and music. I wanted to do, I needed videos for myself. And really just wanted to create a platform where I can just keep people interested in what I'm doing, mm-hmm. basically throughout the vlogging and all that stuff. So I picked mm-hmm. up a camera. Picking up the camera, recording everything, vlogging led into me getting more into the video editing. Mm-hmm. So I picked that up pretty quick because of music. It's almost the same thing as far as cutting and clipping.
Yeah.
Sounds,
the production
but
part
it's
of it.
The image, you know. So I picked it up really quick, and it turned out that I was pretty good at it. So I ended up making a few music videos for other artists and myself as well too. So I learned how to do that, hence the photography too.
Yeah.
So I started doing photography for that. And since I was already working with other artists, so I was accessible for them to do photography, their portraits, their album covers, and that led into more things for myself too.
Right, because you were already kind of networked, like you were already in those circles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And actually, you do have some newer music out with someone we've had on the show before.
Yeah, Utica.
One of your good friends, Utica. Yeah. And I think for where we are geographically here in Colorado too, it probably really helped diversify both of your guys' audiences, right?
Yeah.
Because a little bit more about your genre. I mean, it's hip hop.
More like Latino like
vibe,
more,
yeah, right. He pronounces the Spanish words better, and I just did not do service to his name, Ramiro.
Oh.
Let me get that right?
Yeah.
So yeah, what you say is like, could we put it in a reggaeton or like?
More like a reggaeton. I grew up listening to. These are old artists, like even like I want to say like past our generation and stuff. But I grew up listening to people like El General. I don't know if El General.
I've heard, yes, I'm familiar.
He's old school. Honestly, I don't even know where he's. I haven't heard of him since I was a kid. But El General, he had the reggaeton, kind of like reggaeton vibe, you know, and also like Fulanito. Proyecto Uno, like artists like that. I grew up listening to artists like that, which was like a lot of like percussion, and it was always hype.
Yeah, very upbeat.
It was always upbeat and happy and like really entertaining and low bass and so it was like
it gets you. You want to move.
Moving, it gets you moving. Yeah, my sound kind of reminds me of that. Well, recently, like this year, I started actually like going as like a solo artist, like as a singer or a MC or something like that. But it's music that I want to do, which is like Latino, like reggaeton or trap and everything that they have going on here. Trap Latino,
yeah. It's a thing now.
Yeah.
That trap Latino is a thing, especially out here. So
I have songs like Sufrir. I think you got a chance to listen to that, Sufrir, where it's like more like storytelling. I'm always in my fields too, so you know, like I'm able to use that platform and just express myself on that. Yeah, I'm excited for what else has got going on.
And I mean, you were there for our interview with Utica too, so the next question really is kind of around the same lines of where we were going with his interview, in that we also ask all of our artists what's changed for you, because things are very different now. I mean, we can't go to the concerts and stuff anymore, so I know you're doing a lot more digital platforms and streaming, like Utica as well. So, you know, have you seen a change in your creative process?
Definitely, definitely seen a change. Like I said, I made a name for myself as a DJ. This year, I started pushing myself. I wanted to use all my talents. I don't want to waste my talents. So I know I can produce music, compose music and everything, but I want to start working for myself as well too, like do things for me, you know. Right. As a DJ, I'm doing things for everybody else, you know, like like for others, which is cool. I still like it, but what about me though?
Because you and I were talking about that before, about how the Colorado music scene is really hard to navigate, because there's not really a music scene. So the fact that you and Utica got together to create, you know, the collab between hip hop and Latino music is really a cool thing to see. What platforms can people find you on?
Like you just said, worldwide. No, I'm just kidding. No, but all major platforms, iTunes Music, Spotify, anyone that you like to listen to music into, my music's there too. So
SoundCloud?
SoundCloud too, yeah. Twitch.
Twitch too is a streaming, like all my family is all about Twitch. So, but they're gamers. But it's also a music platform, and I think a lot of people don't know that. So definitely. Well, thank you so much for being on our channel. The last question that is my favorite question is, what's the message you want to convey to the community through your music? What's the feel that you go for?
Well, the message, never really thought about a message about this, but when I make my music, I want to be able to make people like enjoy it. Like as far as like make you wanna like dance and have a great time, and actually try to like make it become a memory. You know, like when you hear a certain song and you're like, yo, remember this,
remember
and
that
that, you know, like, and
Yeah.
that's definitely, it doesn't matter how big the artist is or how small it is. Like if you enjoy the music, like you always have a memory or a place that you heard it or however it made you feel. Like it's always going to be a memory, and then that's going to link to that song. Another thing too is like I said, the reason why I started going off as a artist, where I'm singing and everything, was because COVID was a real good reminder of like actually wanting, like people should do things that they enjoy doing in life, because you never know. Like a lot of people didn't get a chance to like enjoy or do what they want to do. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you don't want to regret.
Yeah, don't be getting all in your feels.
No, I do it all the time. I'm sorry. So, after this, I'm gonna go to the car and cry. No,
dang. No, but for real, that is a great message.
Yeah.
Actually, to be sending through what you're doing. Everyone, we're gonna put all of the links to Rskwared is what you're gonna be looking for on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And on all platforms.
On all platforms.
And so we'll put the links in the description box below. And definitely, are you still available for photography and stuff? Like people, you can contact him for any photography needs. Yeah, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for being on an episode of What's Good with Joanna and Michele. I have to say it like 50 times. Subscribe, ring the bell if you want notifications about when we release our videos. Every Saturday, you guys know where to find us. Welcome back to What's Good with Joanna and Michele. I have a special guest here today, Cydney, and she actually saved my life for my TED Talks that happened earlier in November. I just so happened to meet her through a mutual friend, and she actually is my makeup artist for that event. So I want to introduce you to Cydney, and this is our first virtual interview that we're doing in lieu of COVID and more strict protocols around safety and health. So I want to introduce you to Cydney. She's going to tell you a little bit more about how long she's been in the business. And also, Cydney, if you can tell us about kind of what got you into cosmetology, and when did you figure out it was your passion?
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Cydney Staples. I am a makeup artist and esthetician. I have been working in the beauty industry since about 2012. I am colors and shapes, so I'm not sure exactly how many years that is, but it feels like it's been my whole life. I started off kind of on a traditional path with traditional college education, and that just wasn't really the path for me. I wasn't feeling that passion. So I kind of did a little research, and I found out about the aesthetics program. I went to the Aveda Institute in New Orleans, and pretty much from there, it was like the door just blew wide open. I kind of had a little inkling that like, this might be something I could be into, but it turns out that it was the only thing I was really put here to do, was to just kind of help people feel their best whenever I can. So that's kind of where I started and how I ended up where I am, I guess.
Yes. I had featured my before and after pictures in one of my previous YouTube videos, Cydney. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but wow, the transformation. And I truly did feel like ready for the event after that. So
yes, that's what I love to hear.
Yes. And so if you're looking for a makeup artist, an esthetician, wow, definitely you need to look Cydney Staples up. The other question that is kind of the hot button question right now is, how has your business evolved with COVID?
So one of the benefits of being in this industry is that sanitation, the health of our clients, keeping everything as clean as possible is always at the forefront of what we do. So it hasn't been too much of a change in that regard. Like, we are always making sure that everything is as clean as possible, not doing any double dipping, things of that nature. So as a makeup artist and an esthetician, those are just kind of the cornerstones of how we keep our clients safe. So we're just really amping that up as much as I can with the use of face shields and the mask doubling up, since my clients are unable to have a mask on during the time that we're together. I make sure to have both pieces of equipment on so that we're both as safe as possible during that time. I also make sure to pre-package my materials for each client, and making sure that I have everything kind of separate if I'm working on multiple people, which I try to do in very limited settings these days, really no more than 4 people per any one situation, just because that's about as much as I can feel comfortable keeping control of the environment around me. It's really about making sure that your materials are not exposed, and you are cleansing your hands thoroughly in between every client, and wiping all surfaces, keeping everything as clean and hygienic as possible. But with that said, I am working in a much more limited capacity, kind of taking clients on a case-by-case basis. Again, if you're kind of hosting these larger events, that doesn't really make me feel that comfortable, so I can't necessarily put myself at risk. If you're going to be hosting these sort of, large events with lots of people around, I think in the beginning we kind of thought that, maybe it would just kind of go away, and we were trying to adjust as much as we can. But I think we can now see that this is going to be our consistent way of life for much longer than we anticipated. So really just sort of adjusting expectations in that regard, and making sure that the people who I am servicing take this as seriously as I do. I think that's the primary thing when working with other professionals in creative settings. I just want to make sure that everyone is, we're all on the same accord, that like, this is not anything to play around with. We want to make sure that we're safe, we're keeping everyone else safe, we're not bringing anything back to the people that we love. And if if our values don't align in that way, then it's probably, we're not the people to work together. So I think just being a bit more selective about the clients and the company that I choose to keep when it comes to working in a professional setting, that's the best way I feel to make sure that, everything is in tip-top shape.
Yeah, definitely. And what I was able to do is I had the hair person come to my house, but we were both masked the entire time. And hand sanitizer was right there for both of us, but we weren't even facing each other. And she didn't touch anything in my house and things like that. We were really cautious about that. Because for my situation, so last minute, thank gosh I was able to find you guys last minute. But I couldn't normally I'd be able to have you guys come to the venue, right? And you both would be working on me at the same time, but it was the same feel for the actual TED Talks event, where normally they would have our dressing rooms like stocked and decked out with everything we would need. You guys would be able to come meet me there. Everyone else would have their glam squads there, but it just wasn't safe in terms of what maybe some of your experiences. Can you tell us a little bit more about what all because I know you're from New Orleans. So have you worked on TV shows or anything like that, or?
So I haven't gotten into film and TV so much yet, but I love working in print media and sort of fashion editorials. Those are just very near and dear to my heart. I love any work that will or has the potential to be published. I've had a few projects that I've worked on that have been published in various magazines and things like that. And that's always really fun. It's fun to collaborate with a group of people who are all sort of working towards this one really great goal. And when you get to have physical proof of that hard work, it's just so satisfying to actually see something, kind of come full circle. It went from, a couple of mood boards and some ideas, and then you have this fully realized product, which is so great. When I kind of say my sort of intro to makeup and my first real hands-on training was in New Orleans. I worked with the NBA cheerleaders doing makeup for their team. And I did that for about 3 seasons when they were Hornets, then when they transitioned into the Pelicans. And that was it was like a crash course in all things makeup. It was
very cool.
very intense, very intimidating. So cool. The girls were amazing. It was just like makeup on high adrenaline. We had 2 hours to get through like 23 girls. So it was crazy, but it just was such important lessons learned from that time. Like you see them, they have to look great on the court. They have to look great in person. They have to all match each other. And I'm working with artists who are years beyond my skill level at that point. So I'm, it's kind of forcing you to step your game up a little bit. And it was, I think the thing that I'm most grateful for, the experience I'm most grateful for, because it just was, sort of very key in me learning who I was as an artist and kind of in real time when it like really matters. These girls are
right.
Whether you want them to or not, like we'll be, they're running out the door and we're like putting lashes on and like, wait, this lip. So it was, I feel like if I can handle that, then anything else you throw at me is going to be just fine.
Yeah, definitely. And last but not least, Cydney, the aim of our show is to help our audience understand how business is evolving with the pandemic. But also too is to promote our local artists and entrepreneurs. So if you can tell us where everyone can find you on your social media, and then I know if they're interested in your services, how they can book your services and things like that.
Yes, absolutely. I am Cydney Staples Artistry across all platforms. You can just Google that right in there and I'll pop up on all of your Facebooks, Instagrams. You can also book directly on my website. Go to the contact page, very last section, it'll say click here to book. You can schedule your own appointment very easily. And it's Cydney with a C. Just gonna say that because people don't know that. You can see it here. Cydney with a C. It's not Cindy. It throws people off. But yes, Cydney Staples Artistry. You can find me on all your social media platforms. And CydneyStaplesArtistry.com is where you can find my portfolio as well as my booking site.
And we'll link all the information in the description box below as well so people can find you. And Cydney, thank you so much again. It was such a pleasure working with you. And I do appreciate that you do have the safety and health of your clients on the forefront of anything that you do. That's much appreciated. And definitely everyone stay tuned for more entrepreneurs, artists, and businesses here in Colorado. Thanks so much for tuning in. And thank you, Cydney, for joining us today. I hope you had a wonderful holiday.
Joanna, amazing. You as well. Thank you so much.
Bye.